What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today I have a pretty special video, at least to me. Hopefully you enjoyed as well. But this morning, or I guess yesterday by the time I upload this, I was watching True Budget EDC Prepping, and he had a "What's your most sentimental knife?" And that was a result of a tag from another YouTuber, Wastedbeermoney, who had "What's your most special knife?" And he had tagged 4 or 5 other YouTubers in it. I wasn't tagged in it, it just kind of inspired me to make this video, so I'll tag both of them down in the, or I guess in the title, just so kind of can connect back with them. Definitely check out their videos since they were obviously the inspiration behind this. But I'll show the knife obviously here in a minute, but wanted to give a little bit of backstory first. So when I started thinking about special knives, it was pretty obvious which one I was going to choose. There's a lot of different directions you could take it. You know, there's knives given to you by important people, my dad, my stepdad, or my wife, knives that mark special occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, you know, different types of gifts that you've received, or first knives, you know, my first pocket knife or my first Boy Scouts Swiss Army knife, which unfortunately I no longer have, but just a lot of different firsts or gifts or connections with people that make a knife special. But for me, I think the one that I gravitated towards and the obvious choice for me was the knife that made me fascinated with knives in the first place, and probably why I'm into collecting knives now. And I have nothing similar to it in my collection, but it's been in my life, my entire life. In our formal living room, we had a curio full of odds and ends that were no interest to children whatsoever. There was china in there and coins from different parts of the world and antique picture frames with old photos and old books and signed baseball memorabilia and just a bunch of random stuff that I wasn't super interested in as a kid, except for one item, which sat right in the middle of the third shelf and was basically eye level by the time I was 5 or so. And I was always fascinated with it. It was just kind of magical to me, honestly. I imagined it came from an Egyptian tomb or a pirate ship, which makes no sense when you see the knife. But keep in mind, I was 5, my brain wasn't fully developed, so I wasn't smart. So, yeah, but yeah, definitely doesn't fit either of those things. But to me, it was just kind of this magical piece of treasure that as I got older, stayed fascinated with, and don't even know if my family knows this. I used to sneak it out of the curio when I was alone and just kind of admire it and make up stories of where it came from, even though there was a clear story of where it came from. And so the knife I'm talking about is a knife that my grandfather had bought in South Korea, I believe in the early 50s, and it was not a new knife. We didn't get a lot of backstory. It was a used knife that he just bought off someone. And I don't know the significance of it. I don't know the story behind these carvings, if it's a custom one-off, if it was a mass-produced knife at the time, or what. I just know that he bought it secondhand from someone. Again, it wasn't new, so it's at least older than that, but it could be a year older, it could be 50 years older, I don't really know. And so this is a bone sheath and handle on the knife. It's about 12 inches long. I'm going to kind of slowly pan here just so you can kind of see some of these carvings. So again, about 12 inches long. The blade itself is probably 6.5 or 7 inches, and just a really cool knife. It's, again, some sort of bone. The bone is cracking, the blade is falling out, the sheath separates into 2 different pieces, and just kind of old and run down, and I like it that way, honestly. I don't have any plans of ever restoring this, although it could use some TLC. I'm going to be very careful here removing this because the blade will fall out. But as you can see, the blade is rusted. Someone probably tried to scratch off the rust at some point. There's some sort of wrap or tape inside of here trying to keep the blade from falling out because it has fallen out at this point. And there's also wood in here and some sort of tar sealing everything up. But again, don't really know anything about it besides that it was bought in South Korea in the 50s. It's pretty old. I've tried to find out more about it, but without any branding or other information, it's a little bit difficult. I've seen some very, very similar knives pop up over the years, every once in a while, in much better condition, that sell for quite a lot of money. No intentions of selling it either, and mine's not even in great condition. It would be kind of pretty worn down. I'm not sure how collectible it is. I'm sure there's still some collectability to it just because how old it is and it's hand carved. But just a really cool knife for me. Again, I don't really care about the value of it. Would love to learn more about the history of it. If anyone knows anything about it, definitely let me know in the comments below. And a lot of times these type of hand carved knives and whatnot have some sort of backstory to them. So they're usually telling a story. It's not just images. I don't know what that story is. Would love to. Again, if anyone knows anything about it, learn more about it. But again, don't know that myself to tell that story. But also nice to kind of make up your own at the same time. But let me know down in the comments below if you have a knife that's special or significant to you, or if you're a YouTuber or don't mind recording a video, definitely record one and tag me in it. Would love to hear more about it. It's a really cool way to kind of connect to other people's collections. There's a lot of knives that you wouldn't think have, it could be a gas station knife. It just has a significant backstory to you and it makes it special. So it's just cool to see these type of things, no matter what type of knife they are. But would love to learn more about this. If anyone knows anything about them and can point me in the right direction, again, would love to hear about it. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And as always, I hope you have a great one. Take care.